The story that I want to share for the Advent of Stories 2025 comes from Persia, and its title is The Merchant and the Parrot. A wealthy merchant, and at the same time generous one, lives in Samarkand. His house is beautiful and big in the middle of the city. The merchant lives there together with his wives, his children, and his servitude. In the middle of the house, it says that there is a marvelous garden, always green, and with the scent of roses, jasmine, and basil. In the middle of the garden, there is a fountain, sparkling fresh water that comes out like music to the ears of the visitor of that garden. And in the water, it's always plenty of golden fish. That garden is the paradise on earth for the merchant, and this man there is free time, relaxing out of his busy life in the market. And to make that happiness even bigger, one day the merchant buys a small parrot with colorful feather, blue, green, golden, and some red touches here and there. And the merchant buys a golden cage with a silver locker, which is the house of the small parrot, who is a very smart bird. Indeed, he can speak the human being's language as well as imitate the singing of other birds who also live free in the garden. One day, the merchant asked to travel to India for some affairs. Before leaving, he asked to each of the members of the family and all the inhabitants of his house what kind of gift they would like to receive upon his return. And after he has taken notes of each desires, the merchant goes to the garden and stops in front of the golden cage of his parrot and asks the same question. And the bird replies, "You see, my master, rather than a gift, I would like to ask you for a favor. When you're traveling, you will surely get to a forest plenty of my brother and sister parrots. Well, when you are together with them, please let them know that I miss them a lot, as much as I miss the flying free on the trees of the forest. Tell them that I now live in a golden cage. And so if they can send me a message that can be a relief for my heart." Listening to those words, the merchant agreed. And so he started his travels together with his caravan, and they cross lands, mountains, valleys, until the day they get to a forest. And the merchant looks at the sky and sees that it's full of parrots. So he gets off from his horse, and standing there in the middle of the tree, the merchants convene the message of his parrot to the other parrots in the forest. And as soon as he finishes, one of those parrots starts shivering, feather by feather, and then sadly falls from a branch on the soil. The merchant can't believe his eyes, so he gets closer and touches the birds to see whether he's still alive, but there is nothing to do. So he continues his travel with his caravan, and after many, many months, he goes back to Samarkand. And when he gets home, he starts sharing all the gifts he had brought from faraway India. And then he goes to the garden and stops in front of the cage of his parrot. So Master, tell me, what kind of message my brother and sister parrots are sending to me? I don't really know if I want to tell the story. My heart is still in pain from what I see. But as I made you a promise, I will be telling you. So after he finishes telling the story, his parrot starts shivering feather by feathers, and then sadly he falls at the bottom of the cage. The merchant cannot believe his eyes. He goes around the cage, and then he opens the door and takes the parrot, his friend, his bird, in one of his hands and tried to shake and touch him and say, "My friend." But there is nothing to do. So the merchant, with the bird in his hands, works down towards the end of the garden, and then he throws the parrots on the soil in between two very tall trees. And as soon as the parrot touches the soil, he takes flight. And the merchant, "What kind of prodigy is this?" And the parrots stop on a branch, looks at the merchants and says, "You see, you made me a big gift of sharing the words of my brother parrots. He gave me an important life lesson. Pretending of being deaf in the forest, he told me, if you want to be free and go back to the forest and flying free with us, you have first to die. You have first to renounce to all your extraordinary capacity of speaking, singing, and you have to stop showing off, because exactly that has put you in a golden cage. And so now I want to give you back the gift. Believe me, my friends, you once were my master. If you wish to be free yourself from your cage, however golden it may be, I advise you to die to what you possess, to die to yourself. Then, freed from its prison, your soul will finally be able to take flight. This is the Persian story, The Merchant and the Parrot.